Great news! Some theme park lost media has been found! Incredibly rare and unseen footage of the world's first Pokémon attraction has been revealed. My recent bounty video, asking for clips, was a huge success, and I'm excited to share some of the found footage with all of you. First, some context. During the Pokemania craze of the late 90s, Warner Bros. Movie World on the Gold Coast in Australia opened up the world's first Pokemon theme park attraction to tie in with the release of Pokemon the first movie. This was a walkthrough, taking guests through various scenes which were inspired by the Pokemon Snap Nintendo 64 game. The attraction only lasted a couple of months, believe it or not, December 1999 to January 2000, so any images and video of it is incredibly rare. We only had a few photos before, and literally half a second of a video from an advert, but that was it, until now. Thanks to my recent bounty video, a viewer uploaded some fantastic footage of the attraction. I'll leave a link to the full video in the video description, so please give them some love. I have a lot to say on the subject, being both a huge Pokemon and theme park fan, so let's get to it. It starts off in the queue for the ride, which is basically where Batwing Space Shot sits today. There are some images of Pokemon on the wall, and some TVs, showcasing clips from Mewtwo Strikes Back. Guests are then taken to the studio backlot behind the park, where they get on trams that took them to the station. I believe this was basically the same system used for the studio tour, remember that? I'm not exactly sure where the attraction itself was held, but I'm guessing it was in one of the actual studio sound stages, which may explain the attraction's short lifespan, due to the sound stages being in high demand for films. Next we have some footage of the attraction itself. This is so exciting to see, and remember, 99.99% of this was previously lost media. So yeah, this was a little walkthrough. Guests would walk through various scenes with a tour guide, and would look for Pokemon. They were given some checklists, which they could hand in for prizes at the end if they found all of the Pokemon. As I said, this attraction was inspired by Pokemon Snap, and it looks like this first room is based on the game's first beach level, having Pokemon like Doduo, Butterfree, and a Meowth. This Meowth is of note, as he's actually in possession of a private collector today. It's really cool seeing him in his natural habitat, so to speak. And look, he moves! I heard this was a thing, but it's great to see evidence of it happening. Also, I love the music that plays. I believe it's also from Pokemon Snap. The next room is based on the power plant level in the game, with Pokemon like Pikachu, Electrode, Diglett, not Nidoran and Mankey, but Cocoon is there. There's also a little power generator set here. How cool is that? Next we have a volcano room. There's not much to see in the video, but based on images, it looks like Charmeleon was in here. This reminds me of the game where it evolves into Charizard if you manage to push it into the lava. I wonder if something similar happened here. Next is the wetlands room. We have Poliwag, and another Pokemon by this waterfall, which is hard to identify, but I'm guessing it's Magikarp, as a similar scene happens in the game, where one evolves into Gyarados if it jumps into a waterfall. It looks like maybe the intention was for something similar to happen here. Next is a cave scene. We have this pink gem in the middle of the room, with Pokemon to spot like Grimer, Coughing, Zubat, and a singing Jigglypuff. Luckily she didn't make anyone fall asleep. This Jigglypuff is also a known survivor from the attraction, living with Meowth in a private collection. We then move on to the Valley Room, home to another waterfall, with Pokemon like Dratini and Mankey. Here we also can see a better look at that paper checklist people used to write down the Pokemon. Finally, we go through a portal and appear in Professor Oak's lab. This is also based on the design from Pokemon Snap. Apparently, this is where you'd meet an actor portraying Oak, and it looks like he was out to lunch, so the tour guide had to take on his job. Mew appears in this room, which is a fun moment where guests have to point him out.
Mew, are you in here? Is that it? Nice, is that?
There's also a moment where some constellations appear on the ceiling. It looks really cool. I'm not sure if this was a UV effect or just some lighting. Both the attraction and the video ends here. For such a short-lived attraction, it looked really high quality, with some good-looking models and sets. I'm really sad that it was so short-lived. You know, just a couple of months is crazy. I remember really wanting to visit it as a kid, and when we finally got there, it was sadly closed. The Pokemon shop was still open though, and this was located right outside Kids WB. It had a variety of Pokemon merch on offer, some I believe being unique to the park, and at that time the models from the attraction were also on display in the shop. My family's home video of it is the only available footage of it on the entire internet, believe it or not. Another viewer also sent in a couple of images from the shop, which showed this cool photo op. You could also meet Pikachu there. Pikachu also took part in the Movie World Parade at the time. He does look a bit weird here compared to the friendly versions we have today. It's crazy that there still isn't a large Pokemon presence at theme parks. Yeah, sure, there's been a couple of little things, like that experience at Nagashima Spa-Land and the short-lived PokéParks, but with Pokemon literally being the largest media franchise in the world, you'd think it would have, more. Thankfully though, there's a big rumour that Universal will be adding a Pokemon attraction of sorts in the future after the success of Super Nintendo World. They've recently added Pokemon characters, food and merch at Universal Japan, so this is looking really likely. I can't wait to see what Universal do. I have high hopes after, stuff like Epic Universe. Anyway, I'm happy we finally got to see some video footage of the Movie World Pokémon walkthrough. I still can't believe it. It's a similar feeling to when we finally saw video footage of the real-life giant squid. It's an important bit of history for both Pokémon and theme park fans, and I'm so happy my previous video played a part in getting it documented and archived for future generations to enjoy. In that video, I talk about some lost Gold Coast theme park attractions in detail, and also about my bounty, incentivizing people to send in photos and videos, so please check it out, especially if you think you may have something yourself. And now, please enjoy 30 seconds of a grown man playing with his toys. Ogre!
Pikachu!
Ogre!
Pika Pika!
Ogre! Ogre! Ogre!
Pika!
It's okay, don't worry. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more. It's free, and it really helps the channel out. Also, a huge thank you to my YouTube members, the Ogre Bros and the Ogre Sisters, for your generous support. A huge thank you to Straws, SW Stevie1, Artie Husky, Matt Jonas, Anti-Furry, TV, Rice This Is a Bomb, Dristan, Randall, Movies Like Everyone Celebrates Dennis North 30th, I Liam's Law, Jack W, Kerry Jekelm, Koala75, Mr. Yum Yum, Jez FS, Audrey Allen, Johnny Boy 175, Craig Head, and Germ. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Please consider watching another of my videos. I'll see you there. Have a great rest of your day. Ogre and out.